Mm, mm, hello?
Hey, could you send this message out to my audience?
What do you mean, exactly?
Well, I'm here to make a Sonic video, which I think is going to be the first time I'm just covering one of the series that isn't, well, mentioning it in a separate video.
Oh, yeah! Did you talk about Sonic 3?
Yes, and I still haven't watched it, but that's not the purpose of this video, so could you please just let them know?
Okay. Colin here is gonna make a video about Sonic X.
Yeah, I have a bit to talk about with this, so, hang up the phone and, I'll take over.
Okay.
Sorry about that, that was my associate. No, I'm just kidding, but for real though, let's talk about Sonic X. Sonic X is a really known series, and to be honest, except back when I was a kid, nowadays, I'm not really even into this series anymore. Except a clip I found recently where Sonic and Shadow were finding Final Hazard, which, no kidding, I got the inspiration to look it up because of the track, To Live in Darkness, which, as of recording this, the vocal version came out nearly 2 months ago, and I fucking love it, and yeah, that's about it. That's how I wanted to look up this clip. Now, I'm sure you all have a couple of questions on my thoughts about certain stuff from the show, and, well, here's the most obvious one, that even though I did just answer for you, I'll repeat it again, but in more detail. Do I still love this series now as an adult? I'm gonna say no, but not because I hate it. It's just, Sonic isn't really my thing anymore that much. The only things I could say that I do like about Sonic are Bowser vs. Eggman, the Death Battle, Sage, Sonic Frontiers, even though I barely even touched that game. Sonic Rumble, or whatever the newest thing, it was that, I think, platform game that came out earlier this year. I never got a chance to play it. You get the idea. And even when I was a teenager up until now, I barely even watched Sonic X. No, it wasn't forgotten. Well, okay, it was kind of forgotten. Mainly because I saw it almost everywhere on YouTube. No kidding, almost everywhere on YouTube. It wouldn't be on my homepage every single time I log in or anything, but I would at least find one video that at least mentions it, and look, I get it. I mean, hey, my OC, even though it's Bluey themed, is fucking designed off of Sonic. I get it, but I mean, I'm a slightly above average fan for it, really. All my love and excitement for it outside of fan-made content is pretty much gone. I rarely touch the games, well, whatever I have on a system, that is, and, this show, I haven't seen in a while other than that one clip, and I don't plan to fully check it out. The only recent thing I found out within the past couple of years that isn't that clip of Final Hazard was the Sonic X Good to Evil video from Wicked Binge, which is great. But keep in mind, that didn't make me want to watch the show. It was fun to dive back into it and see the characters' placements in terms of morality, but again, none of that made me want to check out the show. Absolutely nothing. No matter how many screenshots that were actually in that video, no matter how many video clips that had no audio were in that video, hell, the only thing I even did was just look up Grand Oak, or Dark Oak, never mind. But even then, it was just a quick 1-minute Google search. That's pretty much it. That's the closest thing to at least being interested in Sonic X. So, sorry for kind of sidetracking there, but anyway, before I move on to another point, I want to bring this up. Sonic X apparently had a Leapster game, which I'm honestly surprised existed. Yeah, I want to talk about this very quickly. The game itself is boring, but at least the visuals and actually opening cutscene look great. It's just that the actual game itself doesn't look that promising, but at least it feels like Sonic, kind of. So, how did I first find out about this game? No, I didn't buy it as a kid, and like I mentioned, I didn't even know this game existed. I first found out about it from Chadtronic, when he actually made the video on release day back in, I think, 2018? I'm probably getting that date wrong. Maybe it was a year after. I'm not really sure. So here's the next question I'm sure everybody's probably going to be asking me. Do you love the theme song? No. Again, it's not because it's bad. Honestly, except maybe when I was a kid, like, slightly. This was never my thing. Although, I will happily say that this song is way better than Kirby Right Back At You Steam, which, believe it or not, I absolutely loved as a kid, and now I'm like, ugh, it just sounds so bad. The show's great, though, don't get me wrong, but the theme song, ugh. I don't know, maybe I'll do a video about that at some point. Don't count on it, but I will at least mention it. Anyway, but the theme song, though, I could definitely say is good, but compared to some other stuff like the Bluey theme, or dare I say even the Paw Patrol theme song, even though I can barely even remember the lyrics, it's fine, just not for me, that's all. Okay, now here's a question, going back to the questions thing. Someone's probably gonna ask, what's your favorite episode/character? My favorite episode is honestly a bit of a mystery. I never really found an episode that I could say is the best. Once again, it's not because there are any that I consider bad, it's just, I haven't seen this show in a long time, if we're counting full episodes. If we're counting clips, then I saw it pretty recently. I never once found an episode I consider my absolute best. Maybe it's because I just wasn't super big into this. But compared to Kirby Right Back At Ya, where I could find probably 5 or even 10 of the best episodes, well, with a little bit of help from Google, but I would also go off of memory, Sonic X, I never really kept up with which episode is the best. As for my favorite character, no, it's not Sonic, I swear. Again, for this ought to be a rerunning theme here. No, it's not because he's bad, it's just, well, I don't know. If I had to pick somebody, I would probably say Tickle, because she's really interesting. But if I had to pick at least the main character, Tails? I'm just guessing here. This is the option if I had to actually answer this question. I'm sorry. You could tell, other than that one funny Tails meme, that, what am I supposed to say to this? Although, if Silver was in the series, then I could easily pick him in a heartbeat. Although, I would only pick him anyway because of Trunks vs. Silver. And that's pretty much it. If someone were to ask me what would my favorite villain be, no, it's not Eggman. I'm not repeating myself here. Okay, I'll just say this. He wasn't the main focus when it came to villains for me. I could say Dark Oak because of what I mentioned earlier from that Wicked Binge video. But I could also say Final Hazard. But I barely know anything about him. And here's something to keep in mind. Despite me actually hearing about these games, I never once played Sonic Adventure 1 and or 2. Back when I was a kid, or a teenager, or even now as an adult, I never once played either one of these two games. And believe it or not, I didn't even know Sonic X was a show from those two games. Because the storyline is practically identical to both of those games. And despite me being actually very interested in both Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, I might get at least one of them someday, but honestly, I probably won't, now thinking about it, because I'm going to be focused on literally other stuff that I have more passion for rather than Sonic. Sonic the Movie 1 and 2. I still haven't seen 3, if anyone's curious. Anyway, let's get back on track. Now that I think about it, a really long time ago, I actually did my very own Colin X logo, which was actually inspired by the Sonic X logo. Throwing it out there. I still have it saved on my phone, but I haven't looked at it in a while. I'm probably not going to remake it at some point. Although I think I did at that some point, but anyway. Okay, so here's another question that someone, somewhere in the audience is going to ask me. Okay, well, someone at least. How many episodes have I seen? It's not a lot. I'll tell you that much. If I had to make a guess, I would say close to maybe 30 episodes? I'm just guessing. Yeah, I don't know, really. I think I'm going to conclude this video because I thought I had a little bit more to talk about, but no, not really. Now, allow me to explain why I said the title is I Give Up on Sonic X. No matter how many clips I end up finding, whether it be something out of context or a random clip on YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram, nothing in the slightest makes me want to watch the show. Never. And, well, things do come and go in our lives, and this is pretty much the perfect example of that. I loved this back when I was a kid, and I guess as an early teen, but nowadays, I still like it, don't get me wrong. I know it still has, a big cult following, but I'm not one of those people that love this so fucking much. No. And like I mentioned, there's more things that I'm passionate about, and one of them ain't Sonic, I'll tell you that much. But it was a good run. It had a nice entry back when I was a kid, and I actually got into this around, I think, 9 or 8. It was one of those years. And I did kind of love it for a little while, and then it went quiet, and yeah, this is the point where I'm like, yeah, no, I don't really seem to care about this anymore. I know at least some of my friends at least like this series, like my friend Juan, who will get a shout out in this video, since he's a way better and actually more passionate Sonic fan than myself, and I could give him that respect for sure. He makes dedicated videos about finding Sonic merchandise, talking about the Sonic movies, or pretty much anything Sonic related. Yeah, again, he's a way more passionate Sonic fan than myself included. By the way, Juan, if you're watching this video, you're welcome on the respect I gave you, but also, if you do love Sonic X, then, hey, more credit to you. Again, I'm not saying anything negative here. In fact, dare I say I had nothing but positive things to say for this entire video. It's just that, well, this is going to be one of those cases where when you get older, you'll start to not really get into this anymore, because while there's some passionate stuff from our childhoods that we could still hold on to for nearly forever, like my love for Pokemon, I got into that since I was 5 or 6, and that's my second favorite franchise of all time. No matter how old I'll get, Pokemon will, well, second place for that matter, will remain something truly passionate for me. When I'm not talking about Bluey, that is. But for Sonic X, I'm sorry, but again, no matter how many clips I find, nothing makes me want to check out the show. It truly is a thing of the past. Because you grew up on this. Well, I mean, not you, the viewer. I mean, if you grew up with Sonic X, that's great. But I meant, like, me, for example. You actually probably got into this. And it's just been kind of a forgotten thing for many, many years. And when you look back on it, nothing gives you that passion or even the urge to just go check it out again. Yeah, that's a good example of Sonic X. Why the fuck did I say that? Even though I could say I like a couple things about it nowadays, like the Leapster game being pretty interesting despite it being kinda boring. Or the theme song, Gotta Go Fast, which, again, not my thing, but it's not bad at all, really. Or people talking about it. Yeah, none of that is going to give me the slightest spark. Again, I'm sorry for repeating myself here, but, like, this is just me talking here. Because also, I don't have a script. None of my videos ever once had a script. Well, except my old Bakugo MHA theory, but that wasn't really a script at all. That was stuff I came up with one night, and it was too late to record, so I did the following day. But anyway, just to make it short, I usually don't do scripts for my videos. Now, as one last goodbye for Sonic X, I could definitely say this. You were a bright spot for me as a kid, but since I'm not really the biggest Sonic fan anymore, in fact, that dropped majorly within the past decade, yeah, I can at least say that I respect you as a franchise. I may not ever watch you again outside of clips I find online randomly without me even knowing the... Well, okay, expecting to find one. But I can at least say I respect you as a franchise, since you're beloved by a lot of people. I once was one of those people. Nowadays, though, I have other stuff to care about way more. But you'll at least have a... Well, not a certain place, but like a fairly small place in my heart. Yeah, I'm not kidding when I say that, but hey, again, I give you respect, Sonic X. Hopefully more generations of people could actually check this series out, despite it being, well, really old when that time comes. But, yeah, I'm sure someone from 2075 would pretty much love this series, despite whatever the fuck is going to come out of that year. But anyway, so that's it. I officially do declare myself the person who gave up on Sonic X. Not because I hated it, but it just wasn't my passion for it anymore. But again, I can at least say I can give this respect in some way, shape, or form. For anyone that is watching this and you still love Sonic X this day, then that's great. Like I mentioned, I had nothing but positive things to say for this video. It's just that, well, I can't really share that same excitement and enthusiasm as you. But I can share that with other things. It's just not going to be Sonic. Like, look at the other videos I made on this channel that aren't rants or anything like such. And, well, good luck finding a video that isn't Bluey themed, for crying out loud. But for those very few videos where I at least gave some positive things about a certain series or whatever, yeah, I have similar, well, okay, completely different interests, but it's something at least, so anyway, I think that about does it for this video. Sorry for kind of dragging out here, but that's just my closing thoughts. Anyway, I'll see how everyone next time, and that'll be all for now. Gotta go fast! Wait, Sonic, when the fuck did you get here?